You knew it was bad for you. You knew it every single time. And you went back anyway. Not because you're weak. Not because you're broken. Not because you didn't know better. You went back because your brain, the most sophisticated organ on the planet, was running a program you didn't write and couldn't see. And that program had one goal: keep you attached no matter the cost. What I'm about to share with you is another list of red flags to watch for, or 10 signs you're in a toxic relationship. You've read those. They didn't help. This is something different. This is the science of why your brain mistakes pain for love, and how you can finally, for real this time, stop the cycle. Let me describe something, and you tell me if this sounds familiar. You're in a relationship, or you were in one, and something about it felt electric, intoxicating, more alive than anything you'd felt before. But underneath that electricity was something you kept trying not to look at: the unpredictability, the hot and cold, the way one text from them could completely wreck your concentration at work, the way you rehearse conversations in your head at 2 a.m., the way you found yourself monitoring their behavior like a detective, searching for clues about where you stood. And here's what made it so confusing. The good moments were genuinely, breathtakingly good. So good that you held on to them like evidence. See? This is real. This is worth it. You minimized the bad parts. You told yourself everyone has rough patches. You told yourself if you could just be better, more patient, less needy, more understanding, it would stabilize. Drop an emoji in the comments right now if you've ever felt more addicted to someone who hurt you than to someone who treated you well. You are not alone in this. But it never stabilized, because the instability wasn't a bug. It was the feature, the very thing that kept you hooked. And maybe when it finally ended, or if it's still ongoing, you felt something that made no rational sense, grief that was heavier than the relationship deserved, a withdrawal so physical it felt like illness, a pull back to that person that you could not explain with logic, no matter how many pro and con lists you made. Your friend said you deserve better. You agreed, and then you texted them anyway. That's not a character flaw. That's neurochemistry. And it's time you understood exactly what was happening inside your brain. The most painful thing is losing yourself in the process of loving someone too much and forgetting that you are special too. Ernest Hemingway. Here's the science. And I'm going to make it simple, because simple is what actually changes things. Your brain runs on a chemical called dopamine. You've heard of it. It's called the pleasure chemical. But that's actually a misleading name. Dopamine is a release when you feel pleasure. It's released in anticipation of pleasure. It's the chemical of wanting, not having, of craving, not satisfaction. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz spent years studying dopamine in primates and discovered something profound. Dopamine neurons respond most intensely not to reward themselves, but to unpredictable rewards. When a reward was guaranteed, dopamine activity was moderate. When a reward was random, sometimes yes, sometimes no, dopamine surged. The brain became obsessed with the unpredictable source. Sound familiar? When your partner was consistently loving, you felt comfortable but not electrified. When they were hot one day and cold the next, when their affection was something you had to earn or guess at or wait for, your dopamine system lit up like a slot machine. You weren't falling in love. You were becoming addicted to the unpredictability itself. Studies show that variable reward schedules, the same mechanism used by slot machines and social media, produce stronger behavioral compulsion than consistent rewards. Your toxic ex wasn't just bad for you. Neurologically speaking, they were a slot machine, and your brain plays every time. And here's the counterintuitive fact that I want you to sit with. The more inconsistent someone is with you, the more addicted your brain becomes to them. Stability doesn't feel exciting because your dopamine system has nothing to chase. But chaos? Chaos keeps the system perpetually activated. You're not crazy for craving someone who hurts you. You're human, with a dopamine system doing exactly what it was designed to do. Dopamine is not about pleasure. It's about the pursuit of pleasure, and the brain that never catches what it chases never stops running. Robert Sapolsky, Behave. The biology of humans at our best and worst. There's also cortisol involved, your stress hormone. Anxious, unstable relationships keep cortisol elevated. And here's the strange thing. That low-grade stress can become so familiar that the absence of it feels wrong. Calm starts to feel like boredom. Safety starts to feel like something's missing. Your nervous system confuses peace with emptiness. Before we go deeper, we need to clear the air, because there are 3 beliefs most people carry about love and relationships that are keeping them stuck, and they sound reasonable. That's what makes them dangerous. The lie: if the chemistry is intense, the love must be real. The truth: intensity is not a measure of love. It is a measure of activation. Anxiety, fear, uncertainty, and desperate longing all produce intense feelings, but none of those are love. A healthy relationship can feel calm and still be profound. The absence of drama does not mean the absence of depth. If the only time you feel alive is when something is at stake, that's not passion. That's a nervous system in survival mode. The lie: love should be enough to fix someone or to fix the relationship. The truth: love is not a therapeutic intervention. You cannot love someone out of their patterns. You cannot love them into treating you better. You cannot love yourself into deserving consistent treatment from someone who has shown you they won't provide it. Love is the minimum entry requirement for a relationship, not a guarantee of its health, and not a justification for staying in something that is damaging you. The lie: if you just communicate better, it will get better. The truth: communication is essential in healthy relationships. But communication cannot fix a fundamental incompatibility in how 2 people attach, respect, and show up for each other. If you had the same conversation 12 times and nothing has changed, the problem is not the conversation. The problem is that the other person has made a choice, and that choice doesn't include becoming who you need them to be. Now, let's talk about the concept that explains everything: why you choose who you choose, why you stay when you shouldn't, and why the people who are worse for you feel like home. It's called trauma bonding. And it's not just a buzzword people throw around on TikTok. It's a well-documented psychological phenomenon that emerges from cycles of intermittent reinforcement paired with emotional harm. The term was first described by Dr. Patrick Carnes, who studied coercive control and abusive relationships. He found that when someone alternates between causing pain and offering relief, between punishment and reward, a powerful emotional bond forms, not despite the harm. Because of it. Story: imagine Maya. She's been dating someone for 2 years. He's charming, brilliant, and at his best, makes her feel more love than she's ever felt. But every few weeks, something shifts. He goes distant. He criticizes her without warning. He disappears emotionally, sometimes literally, for days. Then he comes back, tender and apologetic, and the warmth that follows feels so profound that Maya holds onto it like oxygen. She spends all her energy trying to understand what triggered the withdrawal, what she did wrong, so she can prevent it next time. She walks on eggshells, quietly reshaping herself around his moods. She doesn't recognize that she's trauma bonded. She thinks she's in love. Trauma bonding hijacks your nervous system. The cycle of tension, rupture, and repair becomes a loop that feels like love, because love, in your nervous system's language, is whatever is familiar. And if what was familiar in your earliest relationships was inconsistency, unpredictability, or having to earn affection, then chaos doesn't just feel normal. It feels like belonging. This is not about blame. This is about understanding the map your nervous system is working from, so you can finally draw a new one. Trauma bonding occurs when a victim develops a psychological alliance with their abuser as a survival strategy during abuse. Dr. Patrick Carnes, The Betrayal Bond, Breaking Free of Exploitive Relationships. Okay, you understand science. You understand psychology. Now, what do you actually do with it? Here is a framework I want you to save. Actually, screenshot this. The REWRE method, Breaking the Addiction Loop. Step 1. Recognize the craving, not the person when you feel the urge to reach out, replay the situation, or return. Pause and name what you're actually craving. Is it them? Or is it the dopamine hit? The relief of the good moment? The feeling of being chosen? Most of the time, you're not missing the person. You're missing a feeling. And that feeling was manufactured by the same cycle that hurt you. Naming the craving separates it from the person, which gives you power over it. Step 2. Examine your evidence. Not your emotion. Your feelings will tell you this person is the one, that it was special, that no one else will understand you like they did. Your feelings are not lying. They are just working from an incomplete data set. Make an honest list, not of the good moments, but of the pattern. How many times did they come back? How many times did the same hurt repeat? Patterns are data. Data beats narrative every time. Step 3. Withdraw with intention. No contact isn't punishment. It's neurological recovery. Every time you check their Instagram, reread old texts, or have one just checking in conversation, you restart the dopamine loop. You are literally redosing. Creating physical and digital distance is not cruelty. It is medicine. Treat it that way. Tell your friends what you're doing and why. Make the boundary structural, not just volitional. Step 4. Interrupt with the body, not the mind when the craving hits, and it will. Your rational mind cannot out-argue your dopamine system. You cannot think your way out of withdrawal. You have to move through it physically. Exercise. Cold water on your face. Call someone. Walk outside. Your nervous system needs a pattern interrupt that happens in the body, not just in your head. This is not self-help fluff. This is how neuroplasticity actually works. You're creating new pathways. Step 5. Rewire towards safety. Slowly after a toxic relationship, your nervous system will find stable people boring. That's expected. That's the withdrawal talking. Your job isn't to immediately feel fireworks with a healthy person. It's to practice tolerating safety. Notice when someone is consistent. Notice when there's no anxiety. Let that register as good. Even when it doesn't feel electric yet, you are recalibrating. This takes time. The goal is not a new high. It's a new baseline. Pause moment. I want you to pause this video right now. Genuinely pause it. Think about which of those 5 steps you've been skipping. The one you've been telling yourself doesn't apply to you, or the one that feels the hardest. That's probably the exact one you need most. Come back when you've named it. The framework gives you the steps. But steps without a new belief system are just actions you'll abandon when it gets hard. So here are 3 mindset shifts that have to happen underneath all of it. Old thought. If I just love them hard enough, they'll change. New thought. People change when they choose to. My love is not a catalyst for their growth. It is a gift I decide whether to give and to whom. This shift matters because it moves you from helpless to empowered. You stop waiting for the relationship to become what you need it to be, and you start making conscious choices about whether this relationship meets you where you are right now, not in the future you're hoping for. Old thought. Something must be wrong with me if I keep ending up here. New thought. My nervous system learned to seek what was familiar. I'm not broken. I'm following a map I didn't choose, and I can draw a new one. Shame is the single biggest obstacle to healing. When you believe that your pattern makes it effective, you stay in secrecy and self-blame, and secrecy is where patterns survive. Understanding the neuroscience of what happened to you is not an excuse. It is permission to have compassion for yourself while you do the hard work of changing. Old thought. A calm relationship means there's no passion. Healthy love is boring. New thought. Calm is not the absence of love. Calm is what love feels like when it isn't also trying to survive. This is the deepest shift, because everything in your nervous system will resist it at first. Healthy love will feel flat, because your baseline has been calibrated to chaos. But think of it this way. If someone who had only ever eaten food laced with hot sauce tried plain food, they'd think it had no flavor. Their palate would need to recalibrate. So does yours. The peace you're looking for is real. It just requires an unlearning first. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Carl Jung. Here is what I want you to hold on to when you leave this video. You are not addicted to a person. You are addicted to feeling, and that feeling was wired into you by a combination of early experiences, neurochemistry, and a relationship that knew exactly how to keep you reaching. That is not your fault, but it is your responsibility now. Not because you caused it, but because you are the only one who can undo it. The work is not glamorous. It is quiet and slow and unglamorous. Some days you will feel the pull so strongly that you'll create an excuse just to send one message. That's okay. Notice it. Name it. Don't shame it. And then choose differently. Not because you're strong enough yet, but because you are willing enough. That's how it starts. Willingness before readiness. One day, then another, then another, until one morning you wake up and the weight of them is a little lighter. And then a little lighter still. You are not the sum of the love that failed you. You are what survived it. And that is worth protecting. The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change. Carl Rogers on Becoming a Person. Before you go, I want to hear from you. Drop in the comments which of the 5 steps in the REWRE framework feels hardest for you right now. Not which one you think you should say. The real one. That comment might be the most honest thing you write today. And if this video reached something in you, subscribe. Not for the algorithm. Because next week we're going to talk about attachment styles. Why anxious attackers keep choosing avoidance, why that loop exists, and how to actually break it. You don't want to miss that one.